I wanted to explain how this part of Nairobi is called. It has two names. It is called Milimani Law Courts, and at the same time it is called Community Area. Why is it called Community Area? If you look at this building next to Afya House, it is called Milimani Law Courts. Previously, we only had High Court in Kenya. We only had the High Court in Kenya, and the High Court in Kenya was just in Nairobi. It was just in Nairobi, where today we have the Supreme Court. That is where the High Court was. And the Court of Appeal was one in East Africa. It was called East African Court of Appeal. East African Court of Appeal, which was in Arusha, but it would move around. When it came to Kenya, it would use the High Court. Today it's called the Supreme Court building. Later on, we got a Court of Appeal, and we continued having Court of Appeal up to 2010. There was a confusion in the Court of Appeal because we had judges of the Court of High Court, and we had judges of the Court of Appeal. Now, there is one person. We didn't have a Deputy Chief Justice. We only had a Chief Justice and judges. Now, we had a problem that the Chief Justice was a judge of the court of the High Court. At the same time, Chief Justice was a judge of the Court of Appeal. Now, that one also brought a lot of problems, that when we were having a sit down about the establishment of a higher court and a Supreme Court, it was said it was unfair for the Chief Justice to be a judge of the High Court and at the same time Court of Appeal, because you cannot sit at the two. Now, suppose you are on a bench in the High Court and the Chief Justice was on that bench. In his capacity, that time we did not have lady Chief Justices, in his capacity as a High Court judge, and then you appeal to Kenyan Court of Appeal. When you appeal to the Kenyan Court of Appeal, other judges sit on that on a case that had been determined by the Chief Justice at the High Court. So as we talk now, the Chief Justice is only a member. There's no judge who is a member of two courts. Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, and other judges are of the Supreme Court. Then we have Court of Appeal, which is next to Radisson Blue. It is somewhere near the Catholic Church. That is where the Court of Appeal is. And the former High Court is now the Supreme Court. And then they went up the hill. You know, in Kiswahili, up the hill is called Milimani. That is where they converted that government building into Milimani Law Courts. And that Milimani Law Courts is what made the area be called community area. It was called community area because what today, actually, I think there is an issue there, because that compound used to belong to the East African Community. Before, East African Community broke in 1977. East African Community was there up to 1977. When it broke up, all facilities, Robert Ouko was even the Minister for Community Affairs. The place was converted into handling things that used to belong to parastatals. Now they became parastatals, which belong to East African Community. These were Kenya Railways, Kenya Airways, and Post and Telecommunication, all those things. They became departments in the Ministry of Community Affairs. And their headquarters was where the Milimani Law Courts are. So It is an area that was hosting the headquarters of East African Community, and that is why the place was called Community, and that is why the place is called Community. Thank you.